Hey everybody, Andrew Ainsworth Golf Academy. Warm welcome to you all, old and new viewers. If you're new to the channel, great to have you along. And if you like the content today, maybe you could do me a huge favor and hit that like button and even subscribe to the channel. So, yesterday I posted a video saying how often do you think you should change your wedges, which was a really interesting experiment. I'll put the link up below if you haven't seen that video. Somewhere up there now, there's a little card. You can go and watch that one. But basically what I got was a very old, put the pictures up as we talk, an old Mizuno MPR series wedge, which has seen quite a lot of wear and tear. I'm guessing it's about 10 years old-ish, and I put it up against a brand new Ping Glide 4.0, both 56-degree wedges. And I was interested to see what the difference was in spin between, backspin that is, between the old Mizuno and the Ping Glide 4. And the results of that in a dry, sterile test indoors was basically they were doing exactly the same, which surprised me and surprised a lot of people who are friends of the channel who kindly posted comments. And the comments are really helpful to me, so keep them coming. A couple of people said, one guy said, and was quite right, he said, well, the test isn't quite like for like because you've got different wedges. Ideally, you'd have, say, this Mizuno wedge and it's equivalent of a brand new one. Well, I don't kind of have the brand new equivalent of the MPR. So I get what he's saying. You know, different wedges have different performance, but it's more just to test the water on this. But another comment I got back from a good friend of the channel, Ian, said, you know, you should really do this with a wet test because the purpose of the grooves a lot of the time is to try and disperse moisture. You know, the grooves get rid of the moisture or try to stop the ball sort of flying off the club face. Sometimes as well we get grass trapped between the ball and the club face and we get this flyer where we don't get the spin. You see the pros' worst enemy is the flyer. So what I thought I could do today, I can't hit off grass, real grass, because I'm indoors, but I can do a wet test. And what I thought we'd do is we'd just rinse and repeat, no pun intended, hit some shots, and nothing more complicated than a bucket of water. And in between shots, I'll dip the club into the bucket of water so that we get moisture on the club face and in the grooves, and we'll see how that affects the numbers. So I'm going to set up exactly the same simulation as I did yesterday, and we're going to do it all again, and we'll see what happens this time. Stay tuned. Okay, here we go. Here's the wet wedge test. Bit of a tongue twister. Bucket of water. We'll plonk that down over here. I've got my Pro V1 golf balls, which I had yesterday, ready to rumble. Let's just get GC2 ready to go. All set exactly the same as yesterday. I'm on the same hole, which is at Kinsale, which is over in Ireland, I believe. 79 yards away from the flag. Pro V1 ball. I hit no warm-up shots. This is all from cold. Club dipped in a bucket of water, and away we go. First shot, I hit way harder than I wanted to. Remember, I'm trying to pitch around about 75-ish yards, maybe even 79. Take a bit off it. A little bit better. Ooh, that's quite nice, wasn't it? Every shot, dip in the water, reload. Nice strike, good for yardage, I think. I haven't glanced at any of these numbers. Still spinning quite well. A little bit heavy and a little bit long. Dip and a hit. Brilliant. I'm going another one. Just going 6. I'm not too worried about the yardages here. It's more the spin I'm interested in. It's pretty good. Now there has been, watching that react on the green, 8,000. There have obviously been advancements on design, you know, materials which they're using. to try and disperse moisture, and I know the Ping Wedge has got that, and it's also got, when you look at close-ups of it, look at the Ping Wedge will show you, it's got more grooves than the Mizuno is, but listen, this is not an exact science. We're going to swap clubs over. Okay, we're back on the old Mizuno NPR. Have a little close-up of the face. Yeah, the grooves, although the face looks a little bit battered and worn, and you know the bottom of the club's full of dings and nicks, you know the grooves don't look too bad, to be honest. They're not sort of closed up. But as I said in the video yesterday, unless I have a microscope, I can't really examine deep into those grooves to see how much they're worn. I can't give you a percentage of like these are 60% worn or 80% worn. I don't know. It's just an age thing. So let's get back in there. Let's give the old Wedge a nice sort of wet there. Plenty of moisture in the grooves. Away we go. Ooh, that's launched. It's a bit like the first shot I hit with the Ping, that one. I got a little bit keen and the ball launched a little bit high up in the face. Ooh, big drop off on spin here. Okay, this is interesting. That's a little bit more on the money. Okay, now this is where things really do already starting to change on the wet test here. Spin coming right off, launching these high. Yeah, spin's dropping dramatically as we hit balls with grooves full of water. They're definitely not dispersing the water like the modern Wedge is doing. So, oh yeah, look at that. You see it pitch and just no bite whatsoever. Consistently spinning at round about 4.5. How many more of these do I need? Let's go another couple. Pretty good, right on it. Will it spin? No. Takes one hop forward. Last one. Then we'll examine the numbers. Again, pretty good for yardage. Any spin? Not really. Just forward spin. Now that was interesting. Ian, I'm so glad, and the other people who suggested we do a wet weather test, because we're going to see a difference. Let's get the data up on screen and we'll see what's going on. So we have some results. I took the first shot out of it with each club. With the Ping, first shot I hit it miles, like 90 yards, and I did the same with the old Mizuno Excitement, I think. So I got rid of that one, which leaves us 5 shots in with each. So what we can do is we can run through some numbers. I've kept things as consistent as I can. The ball speed was a little bit higher with the Ping. That was just me getting a bit excited. I think 70.6 miles an hour as opposed to 68. So it's quite close. Let's jump to launch angles. They wouldn't really change. They're pretty much the same. But here's the kicker. Remember, these wedges were soaked in water after every shot, so plenty of moisture in the grooves here. The Ping coped with it fantastically well. We still spun at 7,405 revs, and I think in the dry test yesterday we were spinning at something like 7.9, I think. So we've only lost 500 revs of spin there in wet conditions. But look what happened to the old Mizuno. Spin just fell off a cliff. Those grooves just couldn't cope with it. So we've averaged 4,248 revs of spin. And again, yesterday in the dry conditions, that was spinning pretty much the same as the Ping at like 7,900. So the modern Wedge, new grooves, new technology, definitely copes better with wet conditions. I suspect the same thing would have happened if we're out on the golf course hitting off grass. Again, damp conditions, we'd see the same drop-off. So your old Wedge, if the grooves are okay, are perfectly good in dry conditions. But if you get out there where there's any moisture, any rain, any dew on the grass, you're going to see a big drop-off as you get some moisture in these grooves. That was really interesting. Very interesting. I mean, I did keep the carry distances fairly consistent as well. I'm glad I did that test. For those of you who watched the first video and now watch the second and were asking questions, that all kind of makes a bit of sense, doesn't it? Hey, thanks for watching the second video today. If you've jumped in at this video and haven't seen the first one, then as I say, I've put a link up in the top there, and I'll put a little end card in so you can go back and watch the first one. But yeah, old and new wedges. There's definitely something in maybe renewing your wedges there, isn't there? Thanks for watching the video. I'm Andrew Ainsworth. All the best. Bye for now.